Welcome to the wingback, or what I like to call the fullback prospect, how to be a world-class fullback. Fullbacks are number 2 and number 3. So we're going to get into this now. So the role of a fullback and wingback has changed over the last 10 years, and there's an even greater emphasis for these players to have offensive product or an offensive impact. Okay? So you need to be a great defender, but at the same time, you need to be a great offensive outlet for your team. Somebody like Dani Alves, Marcelo, TAA, Andy Robertson, right? To create offensive threat and production. So let's talk about top offensive qualities of a number 2 and number 3, right? The first one is can start and support attacks. A lot of times fullbacks are in positions defensively or in defensive positions when trying to build the ball out, but then they get released and go forward. Okay, same thing moving into number 2, can deliver dangerous crosses. Liverpool's fullbacks really come to mind. Robertson and TAA being able to put in really dangerous crosses from almost any area of the field. Ability to connect passes and continue to support the attack. So being able to play into the midfield, recycle the ball to a center back, play into the 9, play into a winger. Okay? The ability to create overloads. So again, this is being released to go forward, to find a position to create like a 2v1, a 3v2, and adding those elements allow us to break forward and be successful to create goal scoring opportunities. Offer width. If you bomb forward, a lot of times the fullback is going to be the outside outlet. Be able to stay wide on the touchline, but also find moments to come inside. Now, come inside would be like an inverted fullback, a lot what Manchester City uses. Where you'll see, for example, Kyle Walker will come inside closer to a defensive midfield role and play in those pockets. Okay, same type of thing. It gives them an overload centrally. But a lot of times coaches will have fullbacks go wide and be the outlet on the wing, like a Marcelo, like a TAA. Okay? Confident of playing 1v1. You're going to get in positions, especially when you get towards the opponent's box, where you're 1v1 out wide, you have to beat the opponent to get the cross in. You have to have this to be a top fullback. Defensive qualities. Excellent ability to deal with 1v1 situations. In these two positions, the number 2 and number 3, you probably face the most 1v1s against out of any player on the field. Defensively, because you're usually going to be isolated 1v1. Okay? You have to try and block opponents, attempted crosses, and try and win the ball back, whether it's a tackle or a block. Okay? You can't allow the opponent to cross. They need to stay connected with the back four at all times. Right? You don't want to be isolated too much. And if you get isolated, you're going to struggle unless you're very good 1v1 defending. But at the highest level, it's really hard to be isolated a lot of times or you're going to get exposed. You need to know when to press and when to stay. So when do you go slide to pressure the opponent? And when do you stay tucked in, connected with your team? You need to know when to show inside and or show away from the goal. So what I mean by this is to show inside is to show the opponent not down the line, but try and make them come inside to maybe where support is. And it might be because this is their weak foot. Okay? Or show down the line, which would be away from goal. So instead of letting them come in, depending on their position, you maybe want to try and push them out away from the goal. And a lot of times this is going to be done when the opponent is close to our box. You want to try and push them away. Okay? Capable of winning headers and dealing with back post crosses is critical. There are so many times in a game a ball will come in, it goes over the 2 center backs, and there's a flying player from the opponent coming in, and you have to deal and head the ball out of danger. Okay? Need to be able to communicate and manage runners from the opponent. Again, attackers are going to be changing positions to try and create confusion. Need to be able to deal with this on a consistent basis. Okay? 3 world-class qualities in my opinion. Right? These are all offensive. Again, I'm a big attacking person. Now, you need to have high-level defensive qualities, but this for me is the 3 for offensive. Because if you watch the best, or what people consider, and I consider the best fullbacks in the world, their major component is offensive. Again, Marcelo, Kyle Walker, TAA, Robertson. They're much better offensively than they are defensively, in my opinion. So, confident going forward. Recognize the moment to create overloads. When do you go? When do you stay? And the ability to deliver pinpoint or excellent crosses. Right? You need to have that ability. So, found a video for you that I'm going to leave externally that you can watch. It's about David Alaba, who is a very consistent left back and has been this for many years. And this is a player analysis that breaks down his performance so you can kind of get an idea of how he plays. Okay? And learn more about how a number 2 or number 3 would play as a fullback. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.